Well, from all the grade 12 students today here for this first information session on Next Genius. Joined with me today on the panel are Mr. Devesh Lathi from Next Genius, Mamaka Srivastava, Next Genius Scholarship winner 2020 to Northwestern University in Qatar, and Mril De Silva, Next Genius Scholarship winner 2020 to Center College in Kentucky. Before we go ahead, we would be recording this session so as to revisit it again in the future. And we will be doing the Q&A towards the end of the session. Therefore, please feel free to post your questions in the Q&A feature below. We are very excited to host this session for you. Therefore, without any further ado, I would now like to invite Mr. Devesh Lathi to take the session ahead. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tamika, for hosting this session and for inviting all the students. Very excited to join you all and welcome Mril and Mamaka. And we're excited to learn more about your experiences, about your Next Genius Scholarship Program journey. So I'm Devesh Lathi from the Next Genius Foundation, and I welcome all the attendees, the grade 12 students who are looking at colleges abroad and who are thinking of going to the US for their undergraduate education in the US. So before we get going, let me tell you what's going to be in the happen in the session. First, I'm going to talk to you about the process of the Next Genius Scholarship Program. I'm going to tell you about what Next Genius Scholarship Program is. Then I'm going to invite Mril and Mamaka to share their experiences and to share with you why they applied to Next Genius. And they'll share their stories with you. And then finally, towards the end, we'll share a couple of resources with you. So without any further ado, let me just get going. So I'm sure I've seen a lot of you in our past webinars, so I know that you might be aware of what Next Genius Scholarship Program is. But for the benefit of everyone else, let me just tell you, Next Genius Scholarship Program is a program which helps students with scholarships for their undergraduate education abroad. Most of the partners that we work with, or most of the colleges that we have partnered with, are in the US, and then there is just one partner which is in Qatar. So that's Northwestern University in Qatar. But all other partners are in the US. These are mostly liberal arts colleges, some of the best liberal arts colleges in the US, and some private research universities. And I'm not going to go in the depth of what liberal arts colleges are and what private research universities are. That is something maybe we can discuss in a different call. But just to clarify one thing, liberal arts college does not mean it's an arts college, and it does not mean that you can only study arts there. That is something I want to clarify. At a liberal arts college, you can study anything in the world, any major, anything that you would like to study. So a lot of Next Genius partner colleges are liberal arts colleges, and you have a chance of winning a massive scholarship up to a full tuition scholarship through the Next Genius Scholarship Program. Yeah. Let me just go ahead and share my screen and tell you a little bit about our program and how it has changed lives and impacted lives. And in the next slide, you will see the number of scholars that have won a Next Genius scholarship over the past 6 years. So Next Genius Foundation has been in existence since 2014, and that is when the program was launched. That is when the program started, and since then we have had 178 scholars who have won this scholarship. 2 of these scholars are here on this call today, but there are 176 more who have won this scholarship and have benefited from it and are now in the US or in Qatar through this scholarship. And they have come from 102 schools across India and some from Indian curriculum schools abroad as well. 87 of these scholars are girls and 91 are boys. So that's a fairly balanced ratio. But when we started, there were more girls who won the scholarship as compared to boys. If you talk about where these scholars come from, 97 scholars have come from metros. And in metros, I include all the cities like Mumbai, Delhi, Kolkata, Chennai, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Ahmedabad, and Pune. So all the big cities in India. 38 scholars have come from tier 2 towns like Indore, Jaipur, Lucknow, Coimbatore kind of places. 37 have come from very small towns or rural places in India. And 6 scholars have come from abroad like Dubai, Singapore kind of places. Yeah. 86 scholars have come from international curriculum schools, and 92 scholars have come from Indian curriculum schools, that is CBSE and ICSE and state board schools. The average scholarship that these scholars have won is $40,000, and a high percentage of these scholars study one of these programs like computer science, engineering, business, economics, psychology, English, math, and bio. And winning the Next Genius scholarship has been a life-changing experience for a lot of these scholars. The Next Genius Foundation has helped and support these scholars across the process, and I think that is something maybe Mril and I'll invite Mril and Vamika to talk about a little later. And before we get going to asking Mril and Vamika to share their experience, let me tell you about what we look for in our scholars and what is the eligibility criteria. There are two things. First is you should either be a high school senior, which is a grade 12 student. Grade 12 students are called high school seniors, or a gap year student. So if you are younger, if you are in grade 11 or grade 10, it's okay to drop off the call because this call is not for you. This is for grade 12 students or gap year students who are going to apply to college this year, who are going to apply to college this fall. That is starting now. In the next few months, they're going to apply to the college. Second thing is all Indian students, all Indian citizens living anywhere in the world are eligible, or any student who's studying at a high school in India is eligible. So if you are not an Indian citizen, but if you're studying at a school in India, you are eligible. Yes, you can apply to Next Genius. If you are a US citizen, UK, or any other country, but if you're studying at a high school in India, you are eligible. What we look for in our scholars is critical thinking skills, creative problem solving skills, how well you can look at the problems around the world and around yourself and how well you can solve them. We look at your personal vision. Personal vision is, why do you want to study abroad? Why do you want to go to college abroad? What do you want to study, and why do you want to study that, right? Your personal vision. What is your thought process about going to the college abroad? How well you have researched the colleges that you are applying to, and how well do you understand good fit? Yeah. We look at your confidence and charisma. So across the process, you'll see that there are multiple interviews that happen. And in those interviews, we see how confident you are and how's your personality. And the final thing and the most important aspect of our process is fit. When you apply to us, there is going to be a huge emphasis on fit. We encourage students to look beyond rankings. We are not at all big supporters of rankings and all those things, but we encourage you to find the right college for yourself. And that is an important aspect of applying to Next Genius. With that, let me pause over here and let me move to Mril and Vamika and ask them some questions. Let's start off with you, Mril. Mril, why did you apply to Next Genius? Maybe before starting, just briefly introduce yourself, and then you can tell us why you applied to Next Genius.
Yeah, am I audible? Yes. Okay, so good evening, everyone. My name is Mril D. Silva. And just as Devika mentioned, I'm the Next Genius full tuition scholar at Centre College, which is in Danville, Kentucky in the United States. And I'm a student at GIS Ahmedabad, and I just graduated this year. And yeah, it's a CBSE school, and I've graduated now, and I'm gonna be at Centre College in person in just over a month. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, about how I applied to Next Genius and how I became a part of this whole community. So back in 2020, I was applying for scholarships because it's always been a dream of mine to study abroad, especially in the United States, because it's known as the holy grail for higher education. And this has always been a dream because I knew that my financial situation would not permit me to go there unless I got a good scholarship. So I kept applying for scholarship throughout my 12th grade, and I came across NextGenius a while ago. But then when I actually applied was when a relative called my dad and informed that their daughter won a full tuition scholarship at Beloit College in Wisconsin. And so I connected with her, and that's when I knew that this scholarship is real. And I visited the page. I got to know the application about the application process, the stages, and it was quite easy to apply. So I paid the small amount of registration fee and applied as soon as possible.
Superb, Mril. Vamika, what's your story? Why did you apply? And before doing that, just introduce yourself briefly, please.
Sure, I'll do that. So, hi everyone. It's so great to meet you all. I am Mamakas Journey. I went to Navy Children's School in New Delhi. It's a CBSE school as well. And I'll be going to Northwestern University in Qatar for my undergraduation in like this fall. And I'm going to be majoring in communications. And yeah, so that's me. Now my journey, so it started pretty late. It was very late actually. I got to know about NextGenius in October 2020. So that's like a lot of months from now. So you guys should be proud of yourselves for knowing about this right now. I got to know about it very late. I got to know about it through my dad, who his friend told him about NextGenius. And since it had always been a dream of mine as well to study abroad, and he told me about it. He was like, go for it. You should really go for it. And even though it had been my dream, I was a bit apprehensive because at first, because it was like, it's college stuff, you know. So it's, especially when you're in 12th and someone asks you about college, at least I'll speak for myself, I would get really anxious and very nervous and very scared. So that's why I was a bit apprehensive. But after a bit of persuasion by my dad, and after he made me realize that there's really nothing to lose and everything to gain here, I gave it a go. So that's how I got to know about NextGenius and how I'm here today.
Fantastic. Vamika, let's start off the second question with you. Share your journey. What happened, and at different stages, what all was the process, and how was your experience with the NextGenius team and the whole process?
Correct. Okay, so as I said, I was pretty late, so I was nearing the deadline. So once I decided I would go for this, I immediately gave the level 1 test, and I registered and I gave the level 1 test. And after that, I got to know that I got through. We had a level 2 form that we had to fill, and we got the list of colleges, and we were to select the perfect fit for us. So that's what I did. I want to pursue communications, and Northwestern is the best college for communications. So I went for that. And yeah, after that, a college was allocated for us, and I was so happy it was Northwestern. And then it was time for applications. And through all of that, like applications sound very intimidating, right? But NextGenius walked us through all of it. And there were a lot of webinars and a lot of sessions, and we got to talk to our admissions officers. And it was very easy, very smooth. After we were done with our applications, it was time for the interviews. And it was amazing as well, because interviews sound like you have to prepare something, it'll be academic and all of that. But it's really nothing like that. It's just a conversation. And it's going to be so fun. You all are going to have so much fun. So yeah, so if I had to like sum up the entire journey in one word, it would be like fun. It was so fun. I just had a lot of fun. So yeah.
Superb. Thanks, Tamika, for sharing that. Mril, over to you. How was your journey?
Yeah, so I'd like to mention that just like Vamika, I started my process really late, and I was lucky that the application was still open. So I applied quick, I paid the small amount of registration fee, and I gave the level 1 test. And this level 1 test was really well made, in my opinion. It included, basic 10th level maths, English, and questions that would not really test your memory, but your logical reasoning and critical thinking ability. So I liked that, and it went really good for me. And I was told that I'm passed to the next stage. And now this next stage was where we were given forms, and according to our preferences, I had to select the colleges that were partnered with NextGenius. And I guess last year there were like 16 or 17 of them, and this year there are like over 20. So that's great. You have more options. And so I went through each one of those colleges, and I went through what I wanted to study myself and where I would fit in. And personally, I was really delighted to be allotted at Standard College because they have a good, renowned computer science program, which was basically what I was aiming for. And I'm glad I got it. So then we go to the next stage, which is the college application process, which usually is during the end of the year. And let me tell you, this process is really holistic. The colleges are going to assess you from every way possible. And it does sound intimidating, just like Mamaka said, but Next Genius is going to help you throughout all of the process. And they will keep calling you. They will keep holding sessions regarding information, and even a session with the college themselves. And so basically you have to submit your entire profile, your exam scores, your proof of English proficiency. And one thing I'd like to advise you all is to spend a lot of time on the essay, and also keep contact with your school counselor. And, perform consistently throughout school. That's really helpful because your mentors, your teachers are the ones who are going to write recommendations for you. All right, so this entire process was on Common App, and Next Genius helped quite a lot. And so don't worry, I mentioned a lot of things, but you will have plenty of time to submit all of this. And yeah, just like I said, I spent a lot of that time on my essay, which was important for me. And then I went to the next stage after I was accepted, and that is the interview. And this interview was held online, obviously due to the pandemic, and it was held in 2 parts. And usually this thing is held in Mumbai, from what I've heard of, but this time it was online. So the first one was one-on-one, and this interview was more of who you are, where you're applying, and why you're applying to that place. Like just like what Devesh said, like you're fit, like you have to explain why you belong at that college. And just like Mamaka said, the second interview was really fun. They had, I can't call it an interview because it was more like a interactive group discussion. And there were several activities that are basically going to test your logical reasoning, your creativity, your communication skills, and your personality. So I encourage all of you to, keep applying in extracurriculars and work on your personality all in all. Okay. So just a few days after that, we had the award session where I was really happy to be announced as the Next Genius full tuition scholar at Standard College. And this entire journey has been really helpful in many ways, not just the scholarship. I was also grateful to be a part of this Next Genius community, which consists of the past scholars of like Devesh sir and Devika ma'am, and all sorts of experts in this field. Like they help you with the visa process, they help you with what things you need to carry, what things you should know of before going. And yeah, I'm really thankful for that. And that's it.
Wow, superb. Thanks, Meryl, for sharing all that. And with that, let me move on to the next part. I'll once again share my screen here, and we'll take you through the process in a step-by-step manner. Of course, Meryl and Mamaka shared it, but let me just share it and share some more details about them. Number one is, so what's the process of Next Genius look like, right? Number one is an online application. You need to submit an online application. It's there on, if you just search Next Genius on Google, it will take you to the Next Genius Scholarship Program website. There is a apply now button, which when you click, it will take you to the registration form, and there's a small fees to be paid, and you fill up the form, and you are all smart guys. So I'm sure you can manage that. That's number one. Number two is an online critical thinking assessment. Again, this sounds something scary, but it's fun. As Mamaka and Shmil mentioned, this is nothing to be scared of. This is a grade 10 level math and English test, and it asks basic questions on maths, on logical reasoning, on critical thinking, and it takes about an hour to finish that. So once you register, we ask you to take this test, and we recommend that you take this test within 72 hours. Yeah, it's a recommended time. It's not a mandatory thing. Number three is, once you take the test, we then shortlist you for the next level, where we ask you to tell us about your top 3 or top 5 college preferences, which you tell us through an online form. It's called the level 2 form. So level 2 is not a test. It's a form that is to be filled, where we ask you information about your personal and your financial background, and academic information. And in the end, we ask you your top 5 college choices. So you need to go through the list of Next Genius colleges and submit your top 5 choices to us. Once you do that, we then allocate you just one college from that list of 5 colleges. And then you can either accept that and move forward, or you can say that, okay, no, I think not. But when you accept that, you then go ahead with the next step where you complete your college application and you are interviewed by Next Genius and by the admission officers from these colleges. And finally, you are offered these scholarships. Next Genius scholarships are non-binding, absolutely non-binding. When I say non-binding, basically that means that if you win a scholarship, it's then up to you whether you want to join the Next Genius community and accept that scholarship, or whether you want to go ahead with another opportunity that you have. So that's what non-binding means, right? So that's a little bit about the process. And next, I just want to show you a couple of scholars who graduated recently and what they're doing now. Anushka and Rishil won the scholarship in the very first year they graduated. Both of them graduated from Wheaton College. Anushka is now going to Rice University to pursue her post-graduation, and Rishil is going to, Rishil has started working in a fintech company, financial technology company in Boston. Tanvi graduated from Juniata College this year, and she's going to start her post-graduation in Columbia. So, and in the next few years, you will see Mamaka and Mrel also listed in this sheet, and they would start working somewhere, or they would start pursuing their postgraduate, their post-graduation somewhere in the US or some other top college. So basically, Next Year scholars get immense support from the Next Genius community. You get mentoring from people like this who are going to the top universities, who are going to pursue the top education in the top universities, and you're going to interact with Mamaka and Mrel and other scholars like that who are going to mentor you and guide you across, not just across your college application journey, but much beyond that. Your relationship with Next Genius does not end, but starts when you win a scholarship. And I mean, Mamaka and Mrel both have been working with us. Mrel worked with us on an internship very recently, where he helped us research a lot of colleges. So you get to engage with us and do sort of lots of internships and engagements with the Next Genius community. And you also get a chance to be mentored by people who are senior to you, who have gone to college before you. Yeah. So that's a little bit about Next Genius community and the scholars who have graduated. This is the list of colleges that you have, where you will get a chance to win a scholarship. I'll just name them one by one and also tell very briefly, maybe one line about them. So number 1 is Beloit College in Wisconsin. They just started off a data science program. They are one of the oldest Next Genius partners, and they have more than 10-12 Next Genius scholars. Center College in Kentucky have fantastic study abroad programs. Mrel is going to Center College. College of Charleston is the only public university which is a part of the Next Genius cohort. They offer amazing engineering programs, and they are located in the city of Charleston, which is one of the most beautiful cities in the US. Lewis and Clark College is located in Portland, Oregon, and it's the only Next Genius college on the West Coast. So all the other colleges are either on the East Coast or in the center of the US. Lewis and Clark is based on the West Coast of the US. Lynn University, Florida is very popular for their courses in aviation management, their business courses, the courses in fashion and design, and they're located in the state of Florida. So they're located in the southern state, also known as the Sunshine State. Millsaps College, Mississippi is located in the state of Mississippi. And an interesting fact about Millsaps is that they have a Mahatma Gandhi statue on campus. So that means they have a strong connection with the Indian community. Ithaca College is located in upstate New York in the city of Ithaca. And they are neighbors of Cornell University, which means when you go to Ithaca, you get a chance to do some courses at Cornell as well. Juniata College, Pennsylvania is one of the oldest Next Genius partners. And a fun fact about them is they have a pre-med course where most of the pre-med students get a chance to go into medical school. Knox College in Illinois is located very close to Chicago, and it's popular for their creative writing courses. Muhlenberg College, located in the state of Pennsylvania, is popular for their business courses and courses in liberal arts like psychology and business. Northwestern University in Qatar is the only college located out of the US, outside of the US. Mamaka is going to Northwestern, and Northwestern is popular for their media, journalism, and communication courses. Ohio Wesleyan University, this year 5 to 6 scholars are going to Ohio Wesleyan, and the previous year also there are 5 to 6 next senior scholars who went there. So it's very popular with the next senior scholars. They have fantastic business and psychology programs and astrophysics programs as well. Syracuse University is the largest next seniors partner in terms of enrollment size. Located in upstate New York, they have programs in engineering, architecture, and everything else that you can think of. TCU, or Texas Christian University, is not a Christian university, and it's popular for business and engineering programs. It's located in the state of Texas. Sewanee, also known as the University of South, have great environment and sustainability courses. Transylvania University is one of the newest next seniors partners, located in the state of Kentucky. It's a neighbor of Center College. Trinity College, again, Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut is a new next seniors partner college and is known for their engineering programs. Union College, again, is known for their engineering programs, and is it's one of the best liberal arts colleges which is offering engineering as a major. Wentworth Institute of Technology is an institute of technology, which means all the programs have an tech focus. They have very strong STEM programs: science, technology, engineering, and mathematics kind of programs. And Wheaton College is the oldest next seniors partner, and over 15-20 next senior scholars have gone to Wheaton, and they have told us great things about Wheaton. With that, let me just quickly share one resource with you. It's called the Comparison Matrix. And one second. What a comparison matrix is it's a place where you can search next seniors colleges. I'll share this URL with you in the chat box as well. Basically, a comparison matrix help you explore these colleges and learn more about them. So this is where you can learn, on this link, you can learn about all the next seniors partners. You can learn about their popular majors, closest airport, their location, weather, undergraduate undergraduate students, number of undergraduate students on campus, the rankings, tuition fees, living cost, acceptance rate, and things like that. And it's a great resource. It is sortable also. So basically you can sort it on A to Z and sort of do a lot of interesting analysis of that. And the second tab in this comparison matrix is a tab which is an exhaustive list of majors. Exhaustive means it lists all the majors and minors which are offered at these colleges, and you can simply search whichever major you want to study. And when you search that, let's say I want to study biochemistry, and when I search that, I can see which all colleges offer a program in biochemistry. It's a fantastic resource. I'm not going to share the link right now because if I do that, then you'll just start going to that link. So before sharing that link in the chat, let me just go on with my presentation and see if there is anything else to be shared. No, that's it. So that's all I wanted to share with you. Now I'm going to just add the link of the comparison matrix in the chat box, so you can check that out and see how, what all different majors are offered at the next seniors partner colleges and what all opportunities do you have. And while you do that, let me just quickly answer the questions that are there in the Q&A feature. And after the Q&A, I'll come back to Mamaka and Bril, and we'll invite them to share their final advice with all of you. Yeah. So the question number 1 is, can we apply to American colleges in drop year? Yes, absolutely. You can apply to US universities in drop year. And before I take the next few questions, there are a couple of poll questions that I would like you to answer. I'm just launching a poll. We would like to know, where are you from? Which curriculum are you from? So if you could quickly answer this question, the poll question, it would be great. Okay, I can see students are filling up the form, filling up the poll. Just another 15 seconds and I'll close the poll. So if your phone is not in your hands and if you're listening on your earphones, just take a few seconds and answer this poll question up here. Okay. Great. So I'll end polling here and I'll show you the results. So almost half of you are from CBSE and both are scholars, Mamaka and Mril are from CBSE schools. So yay, great. Even I am from a CBSE school. So that's great. That's question number 1. And I have another question that I would like to share. And that is, which city are you from? So I'll just launch this and just answer the city that you are from. Okay. Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Chennai, Ahmedabad, Pune. There is no one from Kolkata and Hyderabad that I'm seeing right now. Okay. Another 2 seconds. Great. So we have a lot of them mentioned others. So I think a lot of them are from other towns and places. But about 20% of students are from Mumbai and Delhi. And very few from Kolkata. Not surprising. Okay. So thank you for sharing the polls. I'm going to take up the questions now, the Q&A now. Yeah. Okay. What after the level 1 test? So after the level 1 test, we shortlist you and we ask you to fill the level 2 form where we ask you to submit your college preferences. That's what happens after the level 1 test. How competitive is the level 1 test? Don't worry about it. Just give your best. And I'm sure you're going to do well. Yeah. What is the last date of application for the scholarship? It's 10th of October, but don't wait till the last date because there are many opportunities before that where there are many sessions that you get to attend if you don't wait for the last date. I mean, just apply early because there are various things that you will learn through the process, and applying early means that there are various ways that there are various things that you can learn between these months. Someone is asking, does having a CBSE national curriculum background have a disadvantage? Well, the answer is in front of you. Mril and Mamaka are from CBSE, so there is absolutely no disadvantage. Can we not apply EDEA to the college as the interviews? We never asked you to apply ED. You don't have to apply EDA. I mean, you apply regular decision, right? So when I said Next Genius is non-binding, the application process itself is non-binding. You don't need to apply ED. Yeah. Please, if you hear someone saying in your friends that you are bound or that you have to apply ED, please correct them that it's not ED. ED is early decision. You don't have to apply as an early decision candidate to us. Is it better to give the SAT after a break from boards? See, all Next Genius partners are test optional, so we don't expect you to take your SAT or ACT. If you want to take it, well, you can, but it's not a requirement. What if the students are interested in other universities and want a scholarship in them? Well, at the moment, we are not able to offer scholarships at other universities. So yes, if you are considering scholarships, there is no harm in trying the Next Genius scholarship program. How we know that we give the level 1 test? Because after giving level 1 test, no confirmation mail sent to us. So if you have not received the confirmation email after level 1 test, don't worry. If you have taken it, we have received your scores and we will get back to you. Yeah. Do we need to prep for level 1 test? No, you don't need to really prep for it. As long as you have studied, well in your grade 10, you will be able to manage it. How do I improve soft skills when I'm in lockdown at home? I think that is something for which we'll invite you to join our profile building fair, which is happening in July, on 30th and 31st of July on Next Genius webinar. Just check that out. There are various opportunities to improve your profile and your public soft skills. What this provides scholarship for living expenses? No, Next Genius does not offer scholarships for living expenses. Uh, I think I got disconnected. I think I got disconnected, but someone asked, does the scholarship offers living expenses? No, Next Genius does not offer scholarship for living expenses. That is something the student and the family needs to take care of. Devika, maybe there are lots of questions. I think maybe we can answer them via typing the messages. And meanwhile, maybe I can move to Vamika and Mril to share their word of advice with these students who are considering Next Genius. Yeah. So let's go with Mril first. Mril, before we close this call, what is the one advice or a couple of advices that you would like to share with these students who are in grade 12 right now?
Yes. One advice that I would like to share with everyone here is that keep participating, keep exploring new fields, especially your extracurriculars matter a lot in the college application process. Work on your soft skills, especially communication, and just be confident. If you're thinking of applying at Next Genius, just go with it, just apply. It's very informative. The entire process is going to help you in many ways, and there's nothing to lose, just like Mamaka said. So go for it.
Superb. Thanks, Mril. Vamika, what's your advice?
Yeah, Amril summed it up very well. There's nothing to lose, everything to gain, like my dad told me once. So please go for it. And yeah, just have fun. And one little advice, one more advice that I would have is start checking your emails because those are really important. All your like major decisions will be on email, like it was for me. So check your emails very often. It'll be very it'll come handy to you in the future, and it's a habit of mine now. I check my email every morning, so do that. And y'all are doing great. You know about Next Genius so early in 12th. So amazing. Congrats to you guys, and all the very best for the future.
Super. Thank you so much, Vamika and Mril, for sharing all those insights and sharing about your journey with all these students. And with that, let me just quickly show them the Next Genius website and just show them how it works. See, basically, this is the website. It's called nextgenius.com. Simply go to apply now. And when you click that, you'll see this registration form where you'll have to pay a 500 rupee registration fees and fill up this form. It's pretty basic, pretty simple, nothing very complicated. And I can already see some of you are here on our on the comparison matrix. So that's great. With that, I think we are ready to close the call. Devika, anything else that you would like to add over here?
No, I think we have covered it all.
Superb. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining. If you have some questions, just stay back because we are going to answer those questions right now. And if you don't have any questions and if everything is clear, just check out Next Genius and just give it a try. There is nothing to lose. And with that, I'll just stop recording and just move to answering the questions.